Welcome to the Bold Money Revolution podcast. This is your source for straight talking, no fluff, business and high performance conversations that add real depth and value to the way bold leaders live, work, and thrive. I'm your host, Tara Newman. I'm here to show you how to optimize your performance as a leader so that you can grow a business that is profit-rich, efficient, and allows you to generate real, tangible wealth for yourself and others. We are here to help you lead with your values, to perform without overwhelm and burnout, and to do your most important work in the world. Hey, Tara here. You want to know the most stressful part of being a business owner? You want to know what that is? It's making sure you get paid for your expertise, experience, and effort. Most service providers have no idea how much revenue they need to keep the business going and to keep you going. Pay yourself too little, and entrepreneurial poverty kicks in real quick. Pay yourself too much, and you don't leave enough money in the business for growth and a cash cushion. When you worked for someone else, things were easy peasy. You met job requirements, and each week, money appeared in your bank account like clockwork. Now it's a little more complicated than that, so it's normal to be confused. After all, how many of us actually got a financial degree at the same time we were starting a business? From my experience working with micro business owners like you, setting a revenue goal is so difficult, most avoid it completely and just hope they bring in enough. It's also why you might feel like you're working way too hard for what you actually take home. Does this sound like you? I hear from women all the time that navigating their numbers and spreadsheets just isn't their jam, and can even be incredibly intimidating at times. That's why I've made it super simple, easy for you to calculate a clear revenue goal so you're able to pay yourself more than enough and to run your business with financial clarity, confidence, and competency. A clear line of sight will make it so much easier to manage your money and build wealth. This revenue goal calculator is programmed based on my work as a Profit First certified consultant, which means you will know exactly how much money you can afford to pay yourself, how much money you will need to save for taxes, and how much money you can put toward the running of your business. All you need to do is key in a few numbers and you're off the starting blocks. So grab your revenue goal calculator right now to get started paying yourself more. Visit theboldleadershiprevolution.com/revenue or text revenue to 415-528-7403. That's text revenue to 415-528-7403. Hey, bold leaders, it is Tara Newman, your host of the Bold Money Revolution podcast. And today we are talking about the number one reason why businesses fail. Yes, the number one reason why businesses fail. Did you know that 82% of businesses fail due to poor cash flow? That is the conversation for today. What is cash flow? But before we get started, I want to just share why I'm here with you today, having this conversation, why I'm here with you every single week. Have you noticed how consistently we show up with this podcast week after week after week, year after year after year? We have been podcasting since October 2017. That is 5 years that we have been showing up here with the intention of reducing your financial overwhelm, showing you how to make money and generate wealth in a way that is relatable and attainable, to be an advocate for experts getting paid, and really putting some voice out there for those of you who might be frustrated with the lack of open discussion that you're seeing in online business circles around business finance, like the real stuff though, beyond the hyped up 7-figure revenue goals. Good God. I saw now we're talking about 7-figure months, like how to make like was it $100,000 a month or 100 million or like $1 million a month, $1 million months? I don't remember. It was really wild. I was like, okay, we need to stop this right now. This is not attainable for most people. Even if this is aspirational, it is such a distraction to the actual things that need to happen to get you all paid, which is what we are talking about today, cash flow. So what is cash flow? Why is it important? And how can you do a better job at creating cash in your business? So cash flow is simply, and by the way, you have cash flow in your personal finances as well. Cash flow doesn't just exist in our businesses, but if your business is the way that you are earning income, so you're earning income independent of an employer, what happens with the cash flow in your business impacts the cash flow in your personal finances. So cash flow is simply the movement of money in and out of your business or in and out of your personal finances. You are receiving money that is inflow and you are spending money that is outflow. And it is really the balance of your inflow and your outflow of cash that allows you to grow your business, allows you to create wealth for yourself. And it is the number one reason why businesses fail. And this is why I'm such a big believer in Profit First. It's why I am a certified Profit First consultant, because Profit First is essentially a cash flow management system. It gives you a simple system for managing your cash. It helps you create language and a framework for talking about money. It gives you easy metrics to determine the success of your cash flow. It provides a structure for paying off debt, investing in the future, making sure you get paid. It's a giant roadmap for financial clarity. And for me, it's a tool for helping me manage my nervous system, because when I am implementing a system and I have structure, I feel really calm. And when I first implemented this cash flow management system, what it allowed me to do was really get out of my head about money. And it allowed me to stop spinning around and around and actually see what was happening with the flow, with the directionality, with the path of my money. You need to have great cash flow so you can create profit, pay yourself, create a cash cushion for your business so that if anything happens, you have some financial reserves sitting there for you. It allows you to go and get a small business loan if you need it, or a line of credit. It helps you to continue to invest in your growth as well as your business's growth. Now, typically, when we talk about cash flow and profit, there is a standard equation that is used: sales minus expenses equal profit. Now, what that does is it prioritizes your expenses over your profit, right? Sales minus expenses. You're going to pay your expenses first, and then with what is left over at the end, you would take for yourself and pay for yourself, or profit. And that's where Profit First comes in and says, no, we're not going to do it that way. We're actually going to prioritize you, the business owner. This is financial self-care. This is about financial well-being. And we're going to prioritize you and make sure that you get paid first. So in Profit First, the equation is sales minus profit equals expenses. And that is really a huge shift in how business owners can think about their cash flow. It actually ensures that there is always cash flow, because you're going to make sales and then you're going to prioritize your business payments by making sure you profit first. You take profit right off the top. Then it says you pay yourself. So you're going to actually pay yourself twice, once through profit and once through CEO pay. Then you're going to pay your taxes. And with what is left over, you are going to run your business. Now, some people might say, but that doesn't leave me enough money to run my business. And that might be very true. But the reality is that it forces constraint. So if you need more money to run your business, I guess you need to go out and you need to sell and make more money. Or you need to think more creatively about what you're spending your money on. Now, in a traditional online, in an online business or in a service-based business that operates remotely, digitally, virtually, whatever you want to call it, there is very little that you need to be spending your money on. This is an actual cash cow of a business. It is very cash rich. Unfortunately, That's not what actually happens. What happens is that in these traditional online business models, they're actually very expensive to operate, between paying the people who are marketing to you, paying for what you believe will create clients, which most people overspend on marketing, then the tech required to run the marketing, then you don't have those tech skills, so now you have to hire somebody with tech skills to run the marketing. That all becomes incredibly costly. And when you are actually hiring the people to run the marketing, you're not paying them a straight dollar per hour wage like you would be paying an employee. You're paying them as a contractor, and you're essentially paying them to run their business, which is why this starts to get even a little more expensive when you hire contractors. I'm not saying that you shouldn't hire contractors or that you should hire employees. What I'm saying is that this is why the expenses in online businesses tend to really escalate quickly. It's the belief that you have to spend X amount of money on marketing. It's the belief that, the marketing now is very technical and you don't understand it or don't want to learn it or don't know it. So you need to hire somebody. And then the business starts to become really cash intensive when it doesn't have to be. So cash flow are the inflows and the outflows of the money into your business. You need to have cash flow because you need to be able to pay yourself, you need to be able to pay your taxes, and you need to be able to pay for the investments that will grow your business. You also need to have some money saved aside in the event that you need it for whatever reason. And the best way to look at this is through this lens of sales minus profit equals expenses. Now, in order to get more cash flow, you can either raise your sales, you can increase your sales, or you can reduce your expenses, which would give you more cash. Ideally, it's probably a little bit of both that you're doing at the same time. But the only way you know how to balance that cash flow is if you have the numbers in front of you and you have a system for doing so. Otherwise, what winds up happening is you wind up panic selling because you think you need more cash than you need. You're not realizing that you're spending more than you should. And the business becomes very stressful, very anxiety producing, and incredibly hard to manage and to work, right? If you are someone who values your time, if you are someone who values ease, if you are someone who wants to earn more and work less, the answer to that is profit first. The answer is having a simple system to manage your cash flow to ensure all these things are happening without you having to go out and either overspend or overwork. And that is what cash flow is, and that is why it's so important. If you found this podcast valuable, help us develop more bold leaders in the world by sharing this episode with your friends, colleagues, and other bold leaders. Also, if you haven't done so already, please leave a review. I consider reviews like podcast currency, and it's the one thing you can do to help us out here at the Bold Leadership Revolution HQ. We would be so grateful for it. Special thanks goes to Stacey Harris from Uncommonly More, who is the producer and editor of this podcast. Go check them out for all your digital marketing and content creation needs. Be sure to tune into the next episode to help you embrace your ambition and leave the grind behind.